Hello, my name is Dan Johnson, and welcome back to the Who Pod. This month, we are back with another commentary track. I know it's been 2 months since we did the last one. Uh, I think, depending if I've got the schedule right in my head. But it's been 2 months since we did a commentary track for the previous story, which was Time of the Angels. And today we're doing part two to that story with Flesh and Stone. I'm joined, as usual, by my co host for the commentary tracks, who's never seen Doctor Who before. It's Amy.
Hello.
And look, your internet connection works this time.
I
Uh,
know.
Hallelujah. And we've even fixed the weird technical issue of her stopping her episode like 3 minutes before I finished mine because we've both used the same disc. So do watch out for that, and I shall be giving warning about which version we're using. So we are using the original 2010 release, which was the volumes or the big box set ones. This one doesn't have a slipcase. The metal tin is also a viable option, but anything like the steelbooks or Blu-ray versions uh, seem to be a different edit. I need to, well, I don't really want to do it myself, but I might one day decide to stick two monitors next to each other, play both discs, and see what the actual difference is and whether there's actually a difference between both versions. But apparently it's done for like just about every story. So it's very possible that you're watching episodes that, even if you're doing a watch along or anything like that, that your mate is watching a different version than you. So it's a bit bizarre. But so Amy, uh,
Hello.
welcome back, I suppose. Uh, how are you feeling about Doctor Who at the minute? You in hatred of it?
I'm in hatred of it. Um, I'm just. I have hope for this new episode because I want it to be better than the last one.
Okay. So yes, I probably should do a little recap. We're about to start the episode, by the way, so get your things ready. Um, so yes, it's I do hope you like this one. So because this being your first two-parter, it's a little bit bizarre for me to sort of step back from seeing both parts and just looking at episode one, I suppose.
Hmm.
Because I thought you'd like that one, to be honest, and I'm kind of taken aback by the fact you didn't. Um, not because like I flipping hate you. You didn't like Time of Angels, but
Oh no, I know that.
the
You just thought
idea
my
that
opinion would be different.
maybe there's I misjudged your opinion of this story, but we'll have to see.
Yeah,
Right, are you at the ready? Are you on zero as I am?
I'm on 00001.
And we'll try and jog your memory as we go through as
Oh,
well.
and I'm now on 00000. Ah, no.
You've accidentally pressed play, haven't you?
No, I pressed rewind and it just started playing. No, that's fucking rude. Go back, mate.
Okay,
Before I go
three,
insane.
2, 1, go.
Yeah,
There we go. She
I did
moved
fit.
properly this time, all the way.
Thank God.
Ah, yes, right. For me, I don't normally watch episodes in DVD anymore, so it is a bit weird seeing it in DVD format. You probably can't tell, but I can tell the difference between DVD
Mm.
and Blu-ray. There's a bit more like noise, a bit more grain to everything. But yes, so is this coming back to you a bit more now?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So you're in the tombs, everything's an angels, and then I remember it quite embarrassingly repeating this speech or parts of it that I remembered that
Yes,
kind of
you
just
did.
kept pushing back because I couldn't
Yeah.
quite get the line. And we're in straight into the title sequence.
Meow, 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 meow.
Dun 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 dun. Dun. And this, I mean, I don't think you're. I mean, you're slowly becoming a fan because you're singing along with the title
Mm,
sequence now. So
mm.
well done.
That is a bit of a stretch there, Dan.
I mean, yeah,
There's
you're
a
you're
difference
trying
between a
to.
fan and remembering a tune.
No, but it's a
You
good
haven't quite
tune.
converted me yet.
It's a
You
good
haven't
tune
quite
and it
converted
works
me yet.
well.
Absolute
Uh,
banger. They
and
keep
to be honest,
playing that in nightclubs.
as title sequences go, this isn't up there with my favorite. But we'll move on. Mm. Yes. By the way, this cliffhanger, this scene here, absolutely confused me. I'm curious whether you're going to get it or not.
Gravity. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was thinking about I was 8 when this came out, and yeah, I was like, how did they escape the angels? And it wasn't until I was like a couple of years older, I was like, oh right, so they actually. So you get great rewatch value when you can't physically comprehend what's happening in the story. Yes. Lovely grey corridor.
It's just a corridor.
Just a corridor. Mm.
Get in there, bitch. Come on. She's a bit slow, isn't she?
Well, Amy's a bit slow.
Yeah.
Not quite.
It's an Amy thing.
It's it's a common thread between Girl Squad Amy. Nice. Yes. It's I can hear your television again. And I'm happy to say that we're at exactly like synced, but hey.
Do we turn mine down?
Just ever so slightly. If you got subtitles on this time.
Yeah, I always do.
Oh yeah, just a few
Oh
notches.
look, she's doing a peeping. She's hello. She's saying hello.
She's doing the peeping. The angels are doing the peeping.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. You can't look into an angel's eyes, because if you look into an angel's eyes, then that's bad. You don't want to do that. Does this bloke really need to, in Glenn's character, does he really need to? He doesn't trust the doctor at all. But it just came into my head. He doesn't trust the doctor, but he trusts River, who's like the most untrustworthy person you could possibly meet. And he thinks the doctor's a bit sus. Something to mention later. It's all about flashing images with angels.
Yeah, this is giving me epilepsy.
I'm not a big fan of those shooting effects. They were kind of just sparks. But hey. Oh, yes. I'm actually struggling to remember what happens during like the beginning of this story, like this section. I can't quite remember where they go from here.
Oh my god, they've got enough bloody cables, haven't they?
Yeah. Do you remember tape? Like, tape. It was just kind of coming out as we got older, but as we were born. But it always reminds you of just that kind of mess, like that strewn mess of cables. Just reminds you of tape. Instead of having tape, like our parents did, we've got cables everywhere. In fact, I'm currently sitting in 2 headphones worth of cables. I don't know what maybe the set designer of this place just was like, God, we need some cables.
Yeah.
God, it needs to look technological. And I mean, like if you take a look at this set, I mean, this is a dull set. It is silver, and I don't know where this blue light is coming from, right? So they kind of tried to improve them somehow with a bit of a blue light, but it's a very, very horrible set. I don't think that they would do a set like this now. I mean, I'd be surprised. It's all about style,
Yeah.
I think, and it was something that I think a lot of, because obviously it's age, I think there was a kind of functionality to a lot of the set design then.
Sorry, just changing the subject. What does the sonic screwdriver actually do?
Well, okay, so whatever the
Can he
plot really
point-
needs it to do, to be honest.
Up. Huh?
Whatever the plot needs it to do, really.
Oh.
So, but it's like core functions are to open doors, to open locks, but it doesn't work on wooden doors. So
Brilliant.
it's a wooden door, you can't actually open it. Because, even though the lock inside wouldn't be wooden, it would be metal because, yeah. But apparently it doesn't work on wooden doors. And it's for scans. So it's
Okay.
so with this sonic screwdriver particularly, he will extend it.
Yeah.
So it'll pop it out. I think I can't remember was that just a Star Trek reference? I have not noticed before.
Yeah.
That was a Star Trek reference when he called them all Borgs.
Borgs, yeah.
Tree Borgs. I haven't noticed that before. But yeah, he uses the sonic to scan things, and the 11th Doctor has a thing about sort of flipping out the flipping out the sonic.
Oh, kiss.
They get close to each other, and you're like, kiss. What are you doing there? Yeah, it's for opening doors, scanning things. That's his main functions. And as sonic screwdrivers go, I think that the 11th Doctor is probably one of the best. For its design and the way it suits the Doctor.
Sorry, I'm just trying to listen.
Yeah, it's fine. Yes. Have you caught on to that at all yet?
Yeah, why saying numbers? Oh, has she been cursed and she's counting down?
Just did it again. Yeah, they're yes. So I can't tell you what's happening, but when I first noticed this, I was clearly an idiot because as I went,
she's counting down. The angel's going to get them in like one.
Maybe I can't tell you, but when I first watched this, I didn't remember that was in it. So when I kind of had like a phase when I'd watch all of them or watch a lot of them, and I used to go through and kind of pick things that I didn't really notice. It's like when the Steelbooks came out, I watched them all again and things like that, and I'd pick up different things that I didn't realize before. And there was kind of like a gap when I didn't watch a lot of episodes. Oh, I didn't watch older ones very often, and now I watch them not like every day, but I do watch more than I used to. I probably watch an episode of Doctor Who every week. Maybe.
Well, that's not good. There's a burning flipping.
Do you recognize it?
Yeah, it's the crack from the thing in that other episode.
Unprompted. Unless you're slightly ahead of me, you've just seen that flashback. But unprompted, you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of connections and stuff, this series is the best. I don't know whether I know some people like this kind of interwoven connection stuff, but some people
I love it. I love links.
don't. So yes, there's a lot here, and about this crack as it begins to take focus within the Jesus. I think that line was completely dubbed.
Yeah.
but because I don't think he actually said anything then. Got him.
Why is she walking alone?
Oh, here we go again. Oh, they're in camouflage. They're like a bunch of floating heads. I don't know why
I'm
you
so
wouldn't
proud.
know them.
I'm so proud of that joke.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've never heard that before. Never.
She's like, bitch,
you get away from me.
you fucking tricked me.
You somehow slipped out of your jacket without dislocating any parts of your body. It's impressive. Oh, she's going
having a mental
down.
break.
She's going down. I don't quite understand, like, as an adult, I don't quite understand why they dressed her the way that she does.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, I think maybe as a child, I just didn't really think much of it. But now I think it's like YouTube. It's hot girl equals views, basically. So
Literally.
I mean, I look at like how short her skirt is.
Yeah.
The whole policewoman thing from when they first met all connects to that.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say that. I mean, that's not really much of a revealing outfit, but the short skirt is a bit.
I think
it's
that...
also, it's realistic because most girls wear those skirts like that anyway.
Right. But when as she progresses, I think like it's like in The Big Bang Theory when Penny kind of started off like wearing very skimpy outfits, and then it kind of she went, actually, I don't want to do that anymore. That's subjective to me. Subjective. It's a bit it feels like she's being observed, like she's some kind of item. I didn't quite hear that. It was a bit crackly. If you were saying anything there, or just agreeing.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I told you.
Angel in her mind. When you said that, I thought, oh, I don't think that's been revealed just yet. But yeah. Do you the whole Angel Bob thing is a bit strange, and it's morbid as well, I think.
Just take his body as hostage and gone, let's communicate to him through this random bloke.
No, he's dead.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
they're using his voice.
Yeah.
There's yeah. It's a bit creepy. But that whole breaking neck thing that the angels have in this episode, I think, is a bit dark. But yeah.
Well, it wasn't that complicated. All you got to do is make her fucking close her eyes.
Yeah, but no, it was the getting there. It was the logical working out how she got there. Pardon?
It was the concept of her of like finding out how to do it, but it's just the fact that it was something so easy.
I think that this idea is quite brilliant, because after this episode, I think that I was, I used to have this thing when, like, do you know when you're a kid and you walk around the house like with your eyes closed because you're like, oh, I can see without my eyes with my eyes closed and all this kind of stuff. Well, you find out quite quickly that you can't, and there is a door in the way. So and you walk straight into it. And I think that's Moffat, who's like the screenwriter. He's the writer of this episode and the showrunner. He's very good at picking up on the little things like that. I okay.
Are they back?
Pardon? I think I talked over the end of that statement.
Are they two together?
I don't really remember, to be honest.
Kiss her goodbye.
Kiss her goodbye.
Give her a hug then,
No,
little bitch.
I'm gonna tap you
Oh,
on the
wow,
head though. Give you a quick tap
What,
and
you
move
golden-
on.
you fucking golden retriever.
Mhm. Just in your mind now. I'm not gonna tell you anything. Just what's up? Just take a mental
It's fine,
note of this scene. Just like put a marker on this in your mind for me. By the way, for later.
Peter.
You were saying-
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Their heads are together and they're holding hands. Hello.
He kissed her on the forehead.
Yeah.
Are
I'm fangirling.
you found a girl? Are you simping the relationship between the Doctor and Amy?
Brill.
Is that you're happy?
I love a little on-show romance.
Dear, does that mean that
He
this
just needs a
episode's
trick.
10 out of 10?
I wouldn't say 10 out of 10 yet, but he needs a trim.
What? Matt Smith does not need a trim. He does not need. Matt Smith has amazing hair. When I was his age, when this came out, I tried to replicate his hair. That's why I always had my hair on the side, apart from literally now. But I have my hair to the side, and I grew it out quite a lot as well. I don't know if you remember that, because I don't remember having it when I knew you at school, but I did have quite long hair for a little while. Well, I had a huge fringe, and if I look back on it now, it was a mistake.
Most blokes did. I just don't like long hair.
No, I would never. I think this kind of length is where I would stick to. Like I like it when it gets long, but I think that when it gets too long, it's flipping annoying. So, but I mean, and also he just called them tree borgs as well.
Really?
I can't say anything, really. I don't think you got your eyes closed. Why don't you just open your eyes? Yes. I'm just going to stand and point this gun at this tree just in case it moves.
I was about to say, if you hear any crackling, I'm eating an ice cream. That's why.
Were they crunchy?
It's got chocolate on top of it.
Right. Chew quietly, please.
Like a chocolate ice.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever. Do you know?
Well, he is fucking saying love.
Wait.
Well,
Oh.
don't open your eyes.
Ah.
Move.
Where would they go? That is the question.
They've gone in her, not in a weird way.
They've gone in her. Is that what you think? You think that this is just a swarm of angels inside of her now?
Yes.
Okay. He's off.
Are they pissed off without her?
Yeah. Well, two of them are.
Brilliant. Oh,
Yeah. This is important.
I'm listening.
Yes. Sorry, commentary track viewers, but yes.
Blink.
She's going to, because she's going to look at what it is.
Shut your eyes then. He said no more than a second, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did say no more than a second, and she's still got her eyes open. There we go. That always gets me to close my eyes. If someone does that, I am
Idiot.
completely blind.
Yeah, her open eyes open for about 10
Yeah.
fucking seconds.
Yeah. That felt like a lot longer than 10 seconds. A lot longer than a second. Ba, 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 ba. What? I don't remember that sound effect. Oh. Oh dear. It's Ian. Yeah. Do you know what I always thought as a kid? Whether you could break a weeping angel's arm.
Well, because
But-
it's a statue. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. You must be able to. Obviously, you'd blink in that time. Yeah. Stay here, mate.
Twat.
What? Did you just call him a twat?
Yeah, because you used to fucking listen to her.
Yeah, he just went in there, mate. He's an extra. He's basically, do you like a red shirt? Or the term
Yeah.
red shirt? He's just a red shirt. But they're in camouflage.
Invisible.
They're so invisible, you can't even remember that you saw them.
Was that Jack Nicholson?
Where?
Oh, so.
No, that's Ian Glenn.
Oh, I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah, you are. You're thinking of Jack Nicholson. He is in Game of Thrones. He's
Oh, yeah, we spoke about this, didn't we?
we did in the last one. Yeah, he's in Game of Thrones,
We did.
and I, for the life of me, cannot seem to remember anything else that he's been in. But yeah, he was quite a big name at this point.
He is.
Yeah, because obviously he was Game of Thrones. It was 2010. Game of Thrones was series 3 in its height almost. And what a commitment!
Oh, kiss.
Wait, what do you have this thing about? Just people kissing each other?
because it's nice. I mean, you wouldn't know.
Oh, that sound effect. Just the sound effect that they do.
Yeah.
Just then, did you hear that? That shook me up as a bit as a kid. Hello. Why does he sound like he's sort of high? Like, you know what I'm talking? You know what I mean? In that line, I just thought like he was talking like he was sucked in, like he was out of it. He was spaced, and then he got literally spaced. That's odd.
He was like, oh, always trust me. Don't worry. I'll kiss you on the forehead. He's like, oh, sorry, I missed. I should have put you there.
Yeah.
Men.
Oh, you know. Yes. So now,
Boys go down, love.
this was the cool bit, I think, with this section of the episode, was that they had to, as you can hear in this scene, she has to walk and get to where they are without with their eyes shut and using the communicator.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Cream her, you bitch.
You do not like River, do you?
No.
Why don't you like River?
Oh, I get dirty converses.
That's a true crime.
I think she's behind it.
You think River's behind the Angels?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting theory. Hmm. I mean, you're going to have to walk like you can see in order to trick the angels into thinking that you can see.
That's
And
what they say to all people.
This chronology, in terms of filming, this was the first one that Matt Smith did. Well, they all did, in fact. Sorry.
Why did I suddenly get attracted to Matt Smith for a sec? I think it was the shouting. Let's move on.
Straight to episode 6, mate. See, I don't see. I'm focusing maybe too much on the details, if I'm honest.
Of course you are. That's good of the show.
But like, yeah, he says walk like you can see, but the angels are, well, I mean, they can only move when they're not being observed. So if they're not being observed, I think that goes beyond walking like you can see.
Not moving.
Yeah, like, what do you mean walk like you can see? You can be blind and still walk. I mean, like, you know, you've seen blind people walk down the street. They don't walk like they're blind, like with their arms out or anything. You know, it might be a stick, but
I was just confused why. No, come on.
okay. This shot just coming up got a lot of controversy around it. I just want to know if you can guess what I'm talking about. It showed something that people wish was not shown. Mm. But I'll shut up.
Oh shit!
Yeah. It is kind of creepy, isn't it? And you're all,
I just don't think they should have showed that.
you see. Wait, did you say that because I said it a second ago, or you actually think that?
I didn't hear you say it.
Did you not? Oh, right. Well, yeah. So, because literally just as that scene came on, I said,
Whole
s-
point is so it's an image, isn't it? It's still
yeah,
image.
there's something coming up that a lot of people didn't like because they started moving the angels like physically, like in that shot. It's the only time I believe it happens, but I may be wrong. Where you see them moving, because in reality, in terms of behind the scenes, the
Did you hear that?
I didn't. I was looking down.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I could kiss you. Well, yeah, maybe when you're a bit older.
He does look like a 12-year-old boy there.
He needs a fucking trim.
It's not the trim, I think.
It's a trim.
This was 2010.
Still,
But
his hair
it is
grows.
very sort of, it has quite a lot of volume, doesn't it?
And it just makes his head look a lot smaller.
I can kind of agree with that. Yeah. It's this shot of the angels, when you look at it, does it look a bit like a Photoshop image?
Yes, it does.
I think it's because obviously they didn't need actual angels. I think it was very difficult to paint the women that actually played the angels.
Mm.
So they didn't, because I always thought they literally had props. I thought that it was props, but they're actually actual women painted. But obviously this is just a Photoshop image. Right, here's a cool moment. Let's see if here we go. Epic speech time. Dun, 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 dun. It looks a little bit ridiculous.
looks so funny.
I thought that this was the coolest thing.
That's because you're a kid.
Yeah, like just
Yeet.
I think angels, you've forgotten the gravity of the situation. And then
That was good.
it is a pretty cool scene. It's a good speech as well. Matt Smith is very good at speeches. Yes, so I don't know why.
Yeah, why is she bruised?
Yeah. So they closed the crack because they filled it with the angels basically, and it clogged it up and closed.
Kiss.
Kiss.
It's just no. That specific time was because of the way they were looking at each other.
Yeah, I feel like that is intentional. I think that they at this point, I think that
Shush, Dan. Shush, Dan.
Shush.
I can see tension.
You can see tension.
All right, I'll talk after.
Talk after the tension.
Why is you walking away? Come back.
Come back.
Yeah, get her to piss off so you can snog her, and then
Get River Song to piss off. You don't like River Song, do you?
no.
Kinky.
Excuse me. Say.
Mm. Do you feel like he was giving River kiss me eyes then? When
Yes, he was.
that weird little thing he just did with his mouth.
That was definitely fuck me eyes. 100%.
That was it.
100%.
This series just screams horny.
It literally does.
Like,
It did before. I bet you it didn't. Or you weren't. It's just because I think about it a lot. Whereas you, I was saying it was
no,
you're like,
people
maybe.
do comment on it. Like the most recent episode has this lesbian relationship between one of the companions and the Doctor. When she
Oh, a bit left over.
absolutely like fancies it a bit, and then the Doctor kind of finds out, but there's nothing beyond that point. But people went crazy for that. So, and people have asked for it, not asked, well, sort of wanted it for a long time. So when that happened, people were absolutely ecstatic.
So annoyed. Why wasn't he like that with Amy?
Pardon?
I'm annoyed. Why was he not like that with Amy?
Why was the Doctor not all flirty?
Sorry, she said, "I want to show you something," and I went, "My pussy." Oh, she's going home.
Yeah, we're going back home. Okay, do
Oh,
you
she's
remember what the cliffhanger was
wait.
for episode 1?
She's going to show him a crack,
She's
not in a weird way.
She's go- Yeah, I think that that shot of the wedding dress, which is the one I thought you'd react to, was not. You didn't notice, but okay. Mm. Oh, I don't like this bit. I don't like it.
She's flirting. I can tell.
Really? What gave you that
Oh
impression?
my god! Are you kidding me? She's flirting.
Of course she is. You doing a little fangirl scream. This bit's really weird.
What's this about though?
Where are you off to now? Kinky. Yes.
Why is he so against the idea?
What? Because he's a Time Lord. He's like
And
900 years old. And he's
yeah,
done
but
it all
look,
before. And she's engaged.
so why? Wait.
I
So
think
why?
Did you misread that scene?
I think I did.
Okay, what did you think happened?
I'm so confused.
What do you think
So
happened?
he was hitting on him,
Yeah.
obviously. But obviously he's like, no, I'm 907 years old, and he's like, you're getting married in the morning.
Okay.
But I thought for some reason that it was like they'd gone back in time, and it hadn't happened. So she's like, oh, well, I'm getting married in the morning, so no one will know. I can just I can just get off with you now before I get married or something. I don't know. I've read it wrong, haven't I?
No, not really. So yeah, basically, she's getting married to Rory.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's getting married in the morning, and she, in like a really strange moment, sort of like, you're like, oh, kiss me, and then what you've been wanting this entire time, and so they're like, oh, give us a kiss, and this is how I describe intimate scenes, and, and then and then
Like
they
it's- Oh.
and then the doctor's like, no, stop trying to kiss me, and then she continues to try and kiss him. I think that's flipping weird.
The thing is, it sounds stupid, but I'm glad that for once it's a scene where the girl's trying to kiss the guy and the guy's not trying to kiss the girl.
It's still creepy though. If it was the other way around, it'd be even weirder.
It's creepy even bloody it's creepy either way. But I'm just saying, I'm glad they've done it that way round.
Yeah, but I think it's because the
So I'm
doctor's
just
always.
confused why I say yes.
Why didn't he say yes?
It.
Because I've always thought the Doctor, or this version of the Doctor, to be very childlike and very naive. Well, not naive.
It's a kiss, Dan. Get over it.
Innocent, I suppose, and
Yeah,
quite
but
sexually.
everyone's
even.
But they have a shag.
But I don't, because I've always thought that the 11th Doctor in particular was very like asexual.
Yeah.
To
be fair, it wouldn't surprise me if he was asexual, if the Doctor was.
Yeah, well, I mean, cause I think it varies, because the 10th Doctor was like, I'll basically have everything. Like that's not true, but he had Rose, who he fell in love with, and then there's lots of these like huge soap opera like speeches about that, and then there was Martha, who was the next companion, who she liked him, but he didn't like her, and he was still mourning the death of Rose. And then there was Donna, who was like, she's played by Catherine Tate, and she was just completely different. But
Catherine Tate.
Yeah,
she
is not this series. She was in the series before.
Oh,
maybe we can have a look at that one next. Because I think you'll like that series as well, and it's probably my favorite series. But it is a bit. Do you know, like Endgame was kind of like this sort of culmination?
Yes.
There's elements of that within series 4.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't show you the Catherine Tate one, because I did think about it, but I chose not to. Yeah, but I think that end scene is very, very weird, and the way that she kind of tries to like force herself on him, and yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, a bit weird.
Not that keen on it. Especially when she's about to get married. Like, people have talked about her relationship, and you'll probably see it as we go along, so I don't really want to talk about it too much in depth. But her relationship is very one-sided. There's an episode, which is episode 7, which I think was absolutely brilliant, called Amy's Choice, which talks about the idea of that. So we'll get to that when we do. But other than that, Amy, what did you think of Flesh and Stone?
I really liked it.
You really liked it. Okay.
I liked
it. How do you feel now, looking back on the previous 2 episodes then? How that was?
The first one was not even needed. First one was just unnecessary. I think they could have easily wrapped all of that up in the beginning of this episode.
Really?
Yeah.
I would say for sure that tomb bit, it's not a big reveal to say that the statues within the Weeping Angel episodes are Weeping Angels. But I think that I think that it would be too crammed as one episode. And I think part 2 is really well paced, as it is.
Yes. It's not too fast and it's not too slow.
Yeah, I don't feel like, like we did with the previous episode, it was like, oh, you could cut that. You didn't need that scene.
Yeah.
This scene was to recap a thing from a thing before. No, I think everything follows on nicely within this episode, so it all works quite well there. But I don't think it has a really big fault, like anything that really puts me off it. I just think that as the story goes on, there are some other ones that I prefer over that, and it kind of gets lost because maybe it's down to me not being a huge fan of Weeping Angels.
Hmm.
Because I don't find them that threatening. You know, I like Sontarans, I like Cybermen because they are like literal armies. Weeping Angels are a little bit more psychological, I suppose. A
Yeah.
little bit more, a little bit less sort of, yeah, it's crush them. So maybe that's why I'm not as into this. But I thought that as a two-parter, that one worked really, really well.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So was there anything that kind of stood out to you then in terms of performances or anything like that?
I'm trying to think. I'm very unsure.
Upon what?
I'm still a bit confused about why she's there.
River Song, are you referring to?
Yeah.
Okay, so River Song appeared in the previous series with David Tennant.
Yeah.
Right, and she was this mysterious woman that he didn't know, but she knew him. And then in this story, she's been imprisoned for the murder of someone that we don't know who at this time.
I think she's killed him in a later time.
Okay. And yeah, so she's been imprisoned and then I think it was escaped. She does quite a few times actually, but I think she's escaped. And because their stories are so bizarrely connected, like, so the next time the Doctor sees her, it has already happened for her, because she mentions the Pandorica opening, and that's the series finale, which is the next time she shows up.
Yeah.
So because of everything being so twisted, there's also a kind of flirty atmosphere around her, I think.
I like that. I don't know
Yeah.
what really like. I don't know. It just spices up a bit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. But I think that I think it kind of Moffat liked to maybe double down a bit too much in some episodes. I thought maybe with the how he wrote River Song. But as a whole, we'll have to see about River Song, because I don't know whether you're going to warm to it, because for many years I wasn't quite sure about, and I didn't really understand her. So I wonder maybe you'll understand in time, because at the minute she is like a blank slate to you. She's not really much of a person. And obviously you're more interested in Amy and her romance with the Doctor, apparently.
Yeah, but I'm also interested in her character development.
Yes. So about that, how are you feeling now that we're going into episode 6, which is Vampires of Venice, the next story, which is about Amy, and we're introduced properly to Rory as her fiance. And I enjoy that story quite a lot, so I'll have to see what you think of it with vampires. But so far, how do you feel about Amy's sort of progression, and what are you getting from her?
She doesn't really. It's a bit difficult with the back. Normally, when you learn about a character, you learn about their background.
Yeah.
And whereas with Amy, we haven't really got much. She's literally just like a blank slate. So really, you only find out about her through her actions. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So
she's a bit. The thing is, with her, I don't know why. I just can't really. I can't really tell any like personality traits, because she doesn't really let off much.
She's
just
very, very sort of abrasive, almost.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, it's almost aggression in it. It's
private, but like, because they're so busy, all she does is follow. A majority of her lines are just either her complying with him, arguing, or trying to understand what's going on. So I haven't really found out much about her. It's just
the curse of a companion.
I
there are some stories coming up that will hopefully change that for you. But as sort of I quite like Amy as a character. Right? I think that in the episode 2, the one that you didn't like, she had like a quite an interesting thing about the Doctor's rage and kind of controlling it. And you learn a bit about her as like a child and stuff like that. But then as we go through this series, I think there's some interesting developments that come through it about her. And really, you find out that this series is revolving around her, as the Doctor says in this one. He's like, it's all about you. It's everything is about you, and everything leads up to you. And people talk a bit about within the fandom about how companions now, or companions with this one and the next one, have both been like, were both rather like, it's this person, the universe revolves around this person, kind of thing. And I think that companions are very difficult to write, though, because you need them to be relatable, and the best way to make someone relatable is to remove anything that makes them individual.
Yes.
So that is of course the issue with companions. And with Amy, I think that they were kind of going back to basics. I think that Amy was less of a companion and more of a necessity at this point, or to begin with anyway. She has planned episodes that are Amy episodes, but I think it's a lot of, like, even I can sort of tell that there's a bit, like, Matt Smith is very good at playing the Doctor, and he knew kind of from the beginning what he wanted to do with him in terms of how he played it. But I think within this one, there's a lot of, he plays it slightly differently. He plays it a little bit more straighter than he does in the later ones. I think that I don't know quite what comes later, but he definitely moves around a lot more and shakes around a bit. This one, he's a bit more static and a little bit more calm and collected. He has that kind of that bit when he's shouting at River, and because he doesn't quite know what to do next. But yes. So I talked a little bit just before we started filming about how we needed rankings or scores rather. So I've decided that we're going to do scores from now on, because me going through all of the episodes and ranking them is going to be a bit of a pain. So Amy, out of 10, should we go through this or should we go through all of the episodes? Because obviously you have
yeah,
these
but
scores.
I don't really remember. Like I said, I don't really have enough. I don't think I have enough memory really to completely rate them.
Well, we can change them in time, and also I'll guide you into what from what you've told me into what the score
I remember
should be. Yes. So episode 1, what are you going for there? That was the the 11th hour. What do you think about that? Maybe a 9 or a 10?
Yeah, 9. I wouldn't say a 10. I'd say a 9.
Okay. Episode 2 then, the Beast Below, the one that you didn't like.
3.
3. Okay, and then we go into Victory of the Daleks.
Which one was that?
The one with Woodwall to Winston Churchill, the Daleks.
Oh, that was that one I hated.
No, you really didn't like the Beast Below, the previous one.
Oh, sorry, no, yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad. That was about 6.
6, okay, and then you go into the one that we watched last time, The Time of Angels, with the tombs.
What, the first part of the 2-parter?
The first part of the 2-parter.
That was a fucking 2.
A 2, so worse than Beast Below.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've changed due to this episode that we've just watched?
It made me. This episode was so good that it made me realize how shit the first one was.
So I'm pretty sure that earlier you said that it was the other way around, but and then the one that we've just watched, Flesh and Stone.
A solid 7 or 8.
Solid 7 or 8. I think that I can agree with you there with a solid 7 or 8.
Yeah.
For Flesh and Stone, I do understand what you mean about the previous part, episode 4, being a little bit bizarre, but I do see these two as kind of like a package. And because of how good part 2 is and how important part 2 is for the bulk of the plot, like you're introduced to things like the crack and the kind of time removal stuff and the importance of Amy. And yes, I'm I'm getting quite excited to see what you think of some of the later ones. Our next episode is Vampires of Venice, which will be out in, I don't know when, a few months probably. But that is another interesting story where they went to Venice, or thereabouts, pretended that they went to Venice to film it. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. I do hope you enjoyed the podcast this month. Amy, thank you very much for being around and for commenting on.
Problem. It's always a
episode.
pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Yes.
Feels like a
I
lie.
bless all viewers with my voice.
Pleasure viewers with the voice. It's the only people that ever get pleasured by your voice, Amy.
That's a thing that you should not know, and I'm not letting on.
Pleasured with your. What are you doing? I don't, that's asked more questions than it is possibly answered, and
I have
that's
no idea where I'm going with this.
where I'm leaving it.
Bye.
The podcast is available on a series of platforms that are all linked in the link tree below. You can find them all. We're on things like iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. There's a whole bunch of them. You can go and check out the podcast
In
there.
Dan's Bank.
Pardon?
I said you can find it in Dan's Bank.
What, my link tree or like? Okay.
Oh, the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I do with my podcast. I just keep them in my pocket. But anyway, this has got really, really sexual. I don't know. It's Doctor Who. It's affected your brain.
I'm normally like this. I just try not to around you or around Doctor Who. You knew this. You went to sixth form with me.
It's all fallen apart. Yes. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And hopefully next time she's got less filth in her mouth. Goodbye.
Filth in my mouth.
Filth in your mouth. Yeah, filth coming from your mouth.
Thank you. Oh God.